I'm home. Or am I?
Hey everybody, welcome back to another exciting mission of Duke Nukem: A Time to Kill. It looks like we are back in the present day, and things are still not what they should be, I suppose.
Ooh, this'll come in handy.
As pig cops are still around, and our local sweet-ass strip club has been changed to Danglers. I can only assume what that's supposed to allude to. We also have a new type of robot patrolling the streets here. They're actually pretty dangerous in that they shoot rockets, but thankfully they can't shoot them very fast. There's actually another robot over here in the alleyway here. Normally this one can be more trouble than anything just because it's such a confined space, but as long as you know that the ladder there will block its shots, then it's not too difficult to deal with. But let's go ahead and head into Danglers. I'm sure those are cherries.
I've about had it with this crap.
Oh yeah, so male dancers.
Hey, get your ass off stage and bring back my chicks.
Not
in this lifetime.
I heard that, Duke. So Duke will not actually interact with the male strippers and their awkward ensembles, but there is a secret back behind the dressing room of Dangles, but it actually has a pretty nasty little trap waiting for you. That's I don't think that's a new enemy per se. It's pretty much the ceiling turret that we saw before, but on the ground. So it can be easily dealt with, as it doesn't take a lot of shots to take down, but you know, if you don't know it's there ahead of time, then it can do quite a bit of damage to you. Actually, there is, pretty much, since this is the same setup as the previous present-day street scenario, there is an item, there's an atomic health behind that dumpster right there, and up inside the apartment here is, well, it's actually kind of a normal apartment. I'm not actually sure what this is supposed to be saying about this evil, pig-controlled future here, that there's not a dominatrix and there's, not a bunch of guns laying around, so I don't know, maybe the pigs would have made everything alright. There's another secret down here. I don't really need it necessarily, but it could be a shortcut to get into where we would be going, which is another warehouse, which is very original. This warehouse is actually a bit better set up than the previous warehouse in the alternate present-day future scenario that they had set up. But we'll be getting into the meat of it in just a second here. I decided to explore a little bit, but oddly enough, this little work area here just kind of looks completely normal. I mean, maybe the terror of our, the alien overlords is that they would just make everything kind of normal and placed oddly placed pipes everywhere, I guess.
Someone's having a Roman rummage sale.
Yeah, so this is actually in reference to our next set of stages, which is going to be in Roman times. They're very heavy-handed with referencing,
Roman antiquities.
Everything in the fucking game, I suppose. But we're actually going to head off into this other little office area, I assume where the boss would be, if this place did have a boss. Well, not like, a workplace boss, I'll say that. But we actually have another new weapon here, the energy weapon. I suppose the closest thing you could reference it to visually would be the Shrinker from Duke Nukem 3D, but it works completely different, and there's no Shrinker in the game. There is a little secret back here, though, another atomic health, so I'm actually doing pretty well on armor and health now. Which is a bit surprising, since the last couple of levels I've always been kind of being pretty shitty about, staying alive pretty much. But yeah, we're actually getting now into the very meat of the factory itself, which is this very long, very deep, they call it a very deep room, basically.
Ooh, this place is a pigsty.
That's very observant, Duke. And I thought I would try to use the energy weapon on these pigs, because I thought they might explode or something, but amazingly they're kind of immune to it, so maybe they're my friends. But yeah, this very deep room has, I think, 3 or 4 different levels and about 3 rooms per level. And it can actually be kind of difficult to find your way around or actually figure out where to go. The main purpose, though, is the fact that the time machine itself already has all the crystals, so we don't actually need to get the crystals. But we do need to set up the machine proper so that we can, you know, go back in time yet again to hopefully fix the future this time. First thing we need to do, though, is go into a little flooded office section over here. I don't know why I still have the jetpack on there, but whatever. And back behind here is the first key card we need for the lab key. And actually the lab, thankfully, is not too hard to find, as it is on the same level. The thing is, what most might find confusing about this level initially is just, you know, without a proper map or anything like that, actually finding and figuring out where you're supposed to go or what you're supposed to do first, it doesn't really make a lot of, like, cognitive sense. So yeah, it looks like we found some...
This must be where the extra bacon is coming from.
That's right, Duke. Bacon. But yeah, this looks like where they form pig cops from, I guess, a combination of humans and the pigs we saw upstairs. And with that switch, we actually lowered the, I guess, the main... I don't want to say pylon, but it's basically this thing in the center here that actually... The time machine is fully started up now. The problem is, I guess we cannot stand on the time machine, or the center platform in the time machine, till the water is completely gone. So we now have to figure out how to get rid of the water. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the red crystal here. And then we're going to be heading back all the way up to the top. So we went from the second floor down all the way to the bottom, now back all the way up to the top. Thankfully, though, they give you plenty of jetpack in this level, because honestly, climbing up all these ladders could be extremely tedious. Now, this particularly dark room has a special little secret here, which is that it's apparently where the failures go. Looks like a combination of a necro with legs and arms, and there's a pig head with just a butt and legs. It's pretty sexy. But yeah, now that we've, basically the only reason to go in there is if you want more night vision goggles, or if you want, you know, a refill on your jetpack. And there's actually nothing in that room down there, so we're just gonna ignore it. It's a weird room. I don't even know why it's there. But yeah, I didn't even... So these heavy drak can actually be pretty dangerous if you don't realize that they're firing at you. A good steady stream of fire from them will take you down very quickly. But yeah, I finally get to show off the energy weapon proper here. It's pretty dangerous, even though I don't know what, you know, I don't really know its purpose. I mean, it does a good amount of damage, and it has decent range, but I mean, we already have enough weapons that kind of do the same thing. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and place the red crystal in here. And we have yet another card. It's a tad difficult to get, just, you know, due to collision. And then you gotta make sure to get the red crystal back. Otherwise, you know, whenever we have to repower up the time machine, you know, you're gonna be short 1 crystal and you're gonna have to backtrack up to this room, so. But yeah, so we got another secret up top here. And it's another jetpack, which is always helpful, and also the stage's challenge.
Yeah.
Along with a very useless invulnerability. I mean, I guess you could have flown up there immediately from the start of the stage and gotten it, but still, I mean, there's not really a lot of enemies on this stage entirely. I think there's maybe 24 or 25. And I think you maybe run into maybe 4 that are relatively nearby that power up, so yet again, entirely useless. But yeah, so we are going to be heading to the valve to control the water flowage Not before we take out another turret that could be fairly dangerous if you don't know where it is. And before I head the proper way, I'm just going to backtrack a little here to get a rather easy atomic health. This level is actually pretty forgiving when it comes to atomic healths and where they are and finding them. I think this is another level where there's probably like 4 or 5 atomic health all total on the level, so even with all the heavy drac and the turrets and everything, you still have a fairly good chance of exiting the level with a reasonably large amount of health. But I guess that's understandable considering this is kind of like the hub world. And, you know, it's just a place to refill up on ammo and different things like that, so it makes sense. It is kind of weird that, you know, well, I guess in some way you could consider that apartment you're always going into to be like Duke's apartment, and that's why there's a dominatrix there, and why there's a bunch of guns there at one point, and also why if Duke is eliminated, it becomes a very dull apartment. So, but yeah, as you saw, we are now filling up the room with water. I think this is displacing the water from the time machine room, and we also had to navigate through this rather short little area right here. It can be a bit, it can be cutting it a bit close if you don't realize that you can actually shoot that grate open, but you know, enough time. So yeah, now all we have to do is head back to the time machine, and thankfully, you know, yet again with the use of the jetpack, this is made incredibly easy. Just give little short bursts, and we'll put back in the red crystal. And that will actually be the end of this level. We'll see you next time in the Roman era. This is Negroth, saying bye.